Mic check 1, 2. Microphone check. Uno, dos, isa, dalawa. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream, or late afternoon or early evening. It's 4:39 p.m. here in Chicago, 4:40 p.m. here in Chicago. It's been a long day. I had a lot of meetings today, and I really still feel like I haven't caught up, but that's okay. One of the reasons I do these live streams is I got to be accountable. I got to be transparent. And if you saw the title of today's live stream, it's labeled Yesterday's Tough Refeed. No hiding, accountability, day 683. So yesterday was a really tough day for me. And a big part of me didn't want to live stream today. And these are the feelings that happen when I don't do as well as I normally do. These are the tougher days for me, like you're going to hear about today. You're going to hear about my thought process. You're going to hear about why I do some of the things that I do. And maybe you'll relate. Maybe you've never experienced this before, but I know that for me to show up and share it with you will help me on my journey. For some of you who are here right now, I see it in chat. I see you sharing your accountability, and I'm proud of you for doing that. That isn't an easy thing to do, especially if you're somebody who's currently struggling. I equally love when people share their successes and when they're doing well, but it's a very different thing to share the hard days. And you've been hearing me say this every single day as I have been live streaming, that tough days happen. And during those tough moments, or during those struggling moments, if you can show up for yourself, there's a possibility that you will learn from those hard days. You will pick yourself back up. You'll find that there is a community that supports you around that and will help you push forward. So that is my hope today. Before I continue on, there's a lot of you on already. I appreciate you being here. Liver King fan, Jordan, Deja, Miss Peaceful One, Birdie, Portia, Megan, Maggie, May, Nicole. Hey, Nicole, you weren't on yesterday's Wednesday stream. Eric, I'm just saying that because I saw you on our spreadsheet. Nice to see you here. Slack, Price Man, Willis, Cap Rising, Margaret from Facebook. I always have to say from Facebook because I don't have a lot of Facebook people on here. Hi, Margaret, as always. Elle, Sheila, Shannon. Am I missing anyone else? Patty, Spike. Oh, there's Spike. Unibot, Andreas. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. Welcome to another live stream. Thank you for being here today. I'll say this again. I'm here to share my accountability. That's what these daily live streams are for me, to share my accountability, to share the good and the bad, to share the nerdy stats. But if this is helpful for you, if this is motivating and inspiring for you, share with us. Share the good, share the bad, share everything in between. And just to show that, right? I mean, the very first comment here from Liver King fan says, I just ended my fast at the 48th hour. Congrats, by the way, because my mom had made one of my favorite foods. Liver King fan, what's one of your favorite foods? Let me know. I feel guilty, but I told myself imperfect consistency. And this is the vulnerability I'm talking about here, right? Is there's a lot to be celebrated. Getting through 48 hours of fast, but then there's also that part where you feel guilty because you're like, maybe I could have pushed longer. But as we're talking, as we're having this conversation, you know how this goes. Okay, you break, you completed still a great longer fast, and you're going to practice imperfect consistency. You're going to finish eating, and then you're going to hit your timer. You're going to continue working on your weight loss levers, your other weight loss levers, and you're going to go again, right? And I know that because I know Liver King fan was just sharing where he's at. I started at 195 and down to 167 this morning, but lots of rolling fast in between. We'll keep at it. So I love that for you, Liver King fan. Thank you for also sharing. Thank you for sharing that you were feeling guilty in that way. And here's the thing, that word guilty, you hear me say it a lot. No guilt, no shame, no embarrassment. But for me yesterday, there was guilt, there was shame. And as much as I don't want to share that, I'm going to today because I know it will be helpful for me. Even Deja says here, ended my 3-day fast and hit 175, down 90 since March this year. Congratulations, Deja. I know you've shared a bit of this before. I don't know why I'm so hard on myself. I was mad. I was at 180 the other day. Now I'm at 175. Just got to keep going and be consistent. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Continue to trust the process. Look at how much weight Deja has lost and understands that if you trust the process, you'll get yourself back down there. And this is still a very hard thing for many people because the number on the scale for many of us still has such a strong hold, right? Has such a strong influence in the way we think and the decisions we make. And I'm going to remind you that the number on the scale is just a number on the scale. It's going to do what it wants to do, but it doesn't or shouldn't change your good, healthy habits. If you're performing good, healthy habits, what does it matter what the scale says? Because it will eventually find its way down. Thank you for sharing, Deja. I think there was something else here. I think somebody had asked a question. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Shannon asked, ever considered taking terzepatide to help with the food noise? So, Shannon, the quick answer here is no. It's not something that I'm saying you shouldn't do. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do things that can help them if it will move them forward on their health and wellness journey. But I also know for me, because here's the thing, 2+ years ago, when I had gained all the, when I had gained all the weight back and I went to my doctor and my type 2 diabetes was out of control, my doctor immediately put me on metformin and then gave me a prescription for Ozempic. And I didn't take it. The very stubborn part of me is like, no, I don't need it. I'm going to be fine. But it still took time after to finally get my shit together. I'm not saying that it's not something that maybe I could think about one of these days, especially if I can't keep my weight under control. But for me, I know that every day that I continue to do what I'm doing right now, the more I continue to show up, the more I continue to be accountable, the more I continue to tweak and work on my weight loss journey. And I'm not just talking about losing weight. I'm talking about every single day when I show up for myself and I work on my good, healthy habits, the way I fast, the way I eat, the choices I make when I eat, the way I perform cardio, the way I strength train, the way I sleep, the way I take care of my mental health, the way I think about emotional triggers, comfort triggers, boredom triggers, anxiety triggers, right? The more I continue to show up for myself, I think the better I will get at what I'm doing. This is not to say that if you're watching this right now, that you shouldn't get the help that you need. All I'm saying is I know I'm in a place where I have a good grasp. I have a good control. And I mean, even with this question, right? Like, It would be great if I could just magically remove the food noise. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of other mental issues that I need to deal with that might be causing that food noise to be stronger. Am I using food because something is triggering me? Am I resorting to food because I'm trying to forget about something? Am I resorting to food because I am feeling triggered by something emotionally? This is similar to people who will maybe drink, right? Maybe do drugs, maybe smoke cigarettes, whatever it may be. So again, different for everyone, but I'm kind of at this place where I'm just like, I think I can continue to do what I'm doing without using something. But that's me personally. What is happening here? Goodness, L just donated 5 finally fasting memberships. Thank you for the support. Whoever got those memberships, please give L a huge thank you. Thank you for gifting some memberships. People who are members, you can use this emoji. You should have this emoji. Can we throw some F's up for L gifting 5 memberships? Thank you, L. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please, if you got a membership, please thank L for that. L, thank you again so much. And Priceman 5 with a $10 super chat. Priceman 5, it's nice to see you as always. Priceman 5 with a $10 super chat says, how goes it, Jerome and Fasting Fam? Sad to report that last year around this time, I finished a 30-day fast, went from 240 to 201. I've gained a lot of it back. Now I know a bit of you. Now I know a bit of how you felt back then. If people are wondering what Priceman 5 means by that, this isn't the first time I've lost this weight. I've lost 80 pounds, 90 pounds, I think my first go around. And because I went from, at the time, I think I was around 220-ish or 225, and I went down all the way to 124. So 90 plus pounds for sure. I'll say this though. It says a lot, Priceman 5, for you to share this with us. It says a lot because I look at this, because it's not like you're here pretty regularly. I'm guessing you're here because you know there are things you can do to continue working on yourself. I mean, even for you to say, I gained a lot of it back, I look at that and I'm like, at least you didn't gain all of it back. At least you are still trying to figure out how to move forward from there. And maybe, right? That's the question. What are you doing now to reclaim your good, healthy habits? I mean, to do a 30-day fast is obviously amazing, right? But the reminder here, and I know you know this, Priceman, but the reminder here is, if you're not able to do a 30-day fast or a 21-day fast or a 14-day fast or a 5-day fast or a 3-day fast, all it means is you have other healthy habits you need to continue working on, right? I know that. I know you know that. And so this is just encouragement for you to be like, show up for us, right? Look at everyone in chat. Look at everyone sharing their stories, their struggles, the good and the bad. If this is helpful for you, and I mean, Priceman 5 says, I'll get it back. And I know you will. And maybe a big part of that, right, is just showing up and starting. It doesn't have to be a 30-day fast. I don't know if that's what's in your head right now. And if it is, that's fine, right? I'd love to see you do that again. But at the same time, I'd also love to see you practice imperfect consistency, right? So Priceman 5, thank you for a huge $10 donation. I appreciate the support as always. And I know it isn't the first time you've donated, so I appreciate the continued support. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if I had any other, because I know I need to get into my stats. I only have I have a coaching session in about an hour, less than an hour. So I know I need to get on this. Anyway, you know what? Let me just, there's a lot in chat. I can't read everything right now. If any of you asked a question, maybe ask it now so I can kind of read through it. I always see people, when I see people posting from Facebook, Jan, how's it going? Good morning. Magandang umaga. I'm learning my Tagalog. I'm trying. Kumusta? Kumusta ka? Kumusta ka ba? Okay, that's all I got. Jan, hello. Anyway, so where am I at on my journey today? This is not working. Why is my thing not working? There we go. There's always something happening. Today is day 683 of my fasting journey. Today is Thursday, September 18th. The last 683 days have not been perfect. They have had their ups and downs. Yesterday, day 682 was not perfect either. It started off really good, and it kind of had a rough patch towards the end of it. And the takeaway here for any of you watching this is, remember, this journey is exactly that. It's a journey. It's one that will have good days and ones that will also have bad days. You're going to hear about my bad day yesterday. And even though it's a quote unquote bad day, the majority of that day was me getting my shit done, me doing what I was supposed to be doing. Like I said, the big takeaway here is you do not let one day out of your journey destroy the entire journey. You don't let 2 days of your journey destroy the entire journey. The entire point of this journey is learning from those days. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that today because even for me, I don't have everything answered. But you know what has gotten me to continue to keep this weight off, to lose this weight, right? Is the fact that I continue to show up day after day. I take the good with the bad. I see the people coming from Facebook now. Sarah says, hello, Jerome. Good to see you, Sarah. It's nice to see you. I was successful on my own OMAD today. I love that, Sarah. Thank you for sharing. Again, it was so nice talking to you yesterday, Sarah, and I had a session yesterday, or a short one, but it was still nice to talk to you, Sarah. Congrats on getting an OMAD done. So the reason I've been doing these daily live streams is because I found myself in a place, right, where I ended up gaining a bunch of weight a couple months ago. Of course, I didn't gain 30 pounds in 5 weeks. It wasn't 30 pounds of fat. Yes, I put 30 pounds up on the scale, right? But at the same time, I got back into my fasting routine to push this weight down. I ended up gaining 30 pounds, even though it's just a number on the scale and not truly fat, but I pushed up that weight because I felt very overwhelmed. I was reverting to old habits because, like I've said, I'm moving out of this country. And because of that, because of me moving and selling all my stuff and selling all my belongings and figuring out all the paperwork to move out of the country, I felt really overwhelmed and found myself using food for comfort, using food to forget, using food to avoid, right? And so these daily live streams happened because I said, I need to be more accountable. I need to show accountability, especially when I'm struggling. And that's exactly what I've done. So in the last 2+ months now, I have put myself back on a fasting routine. I have been practicing imperfect consistency, doing different rounds of fasts, rounds of ADF, eating every other day, fasting every other day, having days where I'll eat 7,500 calories, having good long fasts where I'm pushing past 90 hours. I've even shown that I've been able to go on a week vacation, including some days where I'm eating 7,000 calories, right? But at the end of the day, even as I'm doing this, I continue to lose weight. That 30 pounds that I gained, I lost it. And I've continued to keep it off. I mean, overall, I've lost 80 pounds, right, at this point, and have continued to keep it off for the last 2 years. But a big reason I've been able to do that is imperfect consistency, is being accountable, is being honest about what I'm doing and not hiding, not making it a secret, not pretending that it never happened. That is for anybody who's in here right now. Think about your actions when you tell yourself, I'm just going to start on Monday. You know what? It's Thursday already. I have plans Thursday night. So you know what? I'm just going to eat whatever I want the entire weekend. It's that kind of thinking. It's that kind of forgetting. It's that kind of pushing things aside. It's that kind of avoiding, right? That got you where you're at today. If you're watching this and you're like, yeah, that's usually what I do. I wait till Monday. And then what happens on Monday? Does it even last throughout the week? Or does it fizzle out because you're pushing too hard, because you're doing the all or nothing type thinking? I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but if you're listening to what I'm saying and that resonates with you, it's time to do something different. It's time to make a change. Okay. I know someone else asked a question. Sheila says, Jerome, after your break, what got you back in the right mindset to start fasting again? Can you pinpoint it? Are you talking about when I was gone from YouTube for 2+ years? Or are you talking about when I gained the 30 pounds about 2 months ago? Because regardless of which one you're asking, the answer is the same. Let's go back to 2+ years ago. Back in 2020, I started this channel and I had already lost a good amount of weight, maybe around 45 pounds doing rolling fasts. And I lost that weight. One of the reasons I was able to lose that weight even before YouTube was because I used to work in a co-working space, kind of like what I'm in right now, except there was big glass doors everywhere. I worked for a big marketing company then, but there used to be a whiteboard and I literally wrote how long I was fasting for and what my weight was. And I put day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, et cetera, like what you see now. And everybody could see it. I worked at a co-working space where people from different companies saw that. They would see me stand on a scale every day. That was accountability for me back then. When I started my YouTube channel and I continued to lose that weight, I went from around 225 pounds, 230 pounds down to 124 pounds. I had lost over 90 pounds, close to 100 pounds then. And then I gained it all back. And when I gained it all back, I was gone from YouTube for 2+ years. You want to know why I talk about accountability and why it's so important for me? Is because I know accountability is what keeps me going. During those 2+ years when I was gone from YouTube and I was just not taking care of myself, I gained all the weight back. And every time I tried to fast or do a 90 or even do an OMAD, I couldn't do it. Why? Because I had no one to be accountable for or to. I was trying to do it by myself. I was trying to do it on my own. And then I came back on YouTube. You all know this story if you've been following me when I returned back in November of 2023. Can you believe it's been almost 2 years now? In November of 2023, I came back on YouTube where I gained all the weight back. And if you know my story, if you've been following me for that long, I have it completely documented on YouTube. So you can watch it. You can go back all the way to November 2023 and watch everything from then until now. In November of 2023, I lost all the weight in record time, 80 pounds in less than 5 months, 80 pounds in 138 days. Why was I able to do it? Accountability. I had to show up. I had to post videos on YouTube. That accountability really lit that fire under me, right? And here's the thing. If you just want to talk about something more recently, if you're talking about what happened 2 months ago when I went on break or went on vacation or felt overwhelmed, and the reason I've been able to lose that, because here's the thing, right? I slowly for me, but like pushed up 30 pounds on the scale in about 5 weeks. And it's on my notes here. If you see it, right? If you look here at bullet number 3 or bullet number 1, in 18 days, I lost 21.2 pounds. In 21 days, I lost 24 pounds. If you look further down here, in 35 days, in 5 weeks, I lost 28. And then in 39 days, I lost 29. Why was I able to achieve that this time around? Again, because I started doing the daily live streams, because I became completely accountable in that way. I know this is a very long answer there, but I hope that answers it, because you asked me, can I pinpoint it? It's exactly that. The best way I can even say this, Sheila, right, is if you think about it, and I've said this to other people, if you've ever worked with me, if you knew that you had to talk to me every day at the same time every day, would that change the way you perform your actions? Would that change maybe how you're eating if you knew you had to check in with me? For some people, yes. For some people, no, right? But all I'm saying is, if accountability is something you've never done before, I honestly think that looking at doing something that might make you accountable can benefit you in that way. And that's why I really do talk about the importance of accountability. So I know I have to really push with the time here, because what time is I got about 40 minutes. So I think we're okay here. So let's talk about yesterday's refeed. So yesterday, right, I refed. You all heard me talk about it on my live stream. And my goal was to have under 3,000 calories and over 190 grams of protein. So let me share with you what my refeed looked like, okay? So started off with fruit. The reason that I've been starting off with fruit lately, it's weird seeing. Anyway, the reason I started out with fruit, right, is because for me, I was preparing my vegetables. I was preheating the oven. I was cooking meat. And I was like, I'm just going to break. And so this is about a pound of honeydew melon. I'm also not the biggest fan of honeydew. I got it because I was trying to find something that was maybe a little lower in calories. Don't get me wrong. It was still good. It was sweet, but it's not pineapple. It's not the bananas I normally eat. When I thought about it, I was like, why do I like pineapples and bananas more? I think maybe because it's denser. I think I'm more of somebody who wants, but anyway, I didn't eat all of it. I'm going to save the rest for possibly my next refeed. I don't know, but I ate about, I think, 3/4 of a pound. This is what most people don't want to see. That's me literally eating straight up cottage cheese. I needed this because I needed to make sure I got my protein up. I didn't think I had enough protein with the meat I had. So I ate about 2 servings of cottage cheese there. My food still wasn't ready yet. So not broke, but had a banana, actually had 2 bananas. And then we'll cut to the next clip here. Brussels sprouts. This isn't a surprise. You all know that I eat this on every refeed, right? Roasted, cooked with oil, seasoned well, super amazing. I know there's a clip of me here eating it with balsamic vinegar. I kind of use it as a dipping sauce. Really, really good. Cauliflower, right? So you're seeing roasted cauliflower. You're seeing a lot of clean foods here, right? Super clean foods, whole foods, right? We'll cut to the main whenever that shows up. I don't know why I made that so long. This is a bowl of, that's a bowl of ground turkey, lean ground turkey, like 93.7. So pretty lean, spaghetti sauce, mushrooms, garlic, really, really good. So far, an amazing refeed, right? Delicious, no complaints. This is a very standard thing. Oh, there are also tomatoes in here, right? So super good. Always love eating this. This is also now with a big bowl of rice underneath. So you can see I'm getting a ton of calories in. I'm getting a ton of volume in, right? Well, I don't know how long I cut this clip. I can't ever time how long I'm going to talk for in between these scenes. So anyway, I had that, right? And then dessert. This dessert is the same dessert I've been eating for a while. I absolutely love this. It reminds me of pumpkin pie. There are Biscoff cookies in here. There are digestive tea biscuits in here, canned pumpkin, sugar-free Jell-O cheesecake, milk, protein powder. So a lot of high protein foods, but also a lot of sweetness. One of my favorites. And that was pretty much the recorded refeed. See how good that looks? So that was my refeed on camera. And here's the thing, on camera, that ended up being just a little over 3,000 calories. That should have ended my refeed. That should have been a good 80% day. I finished eating that, I think, in less than 2 hours. I was extremely hungry that day. Now, here's the thing, okay? So I don't know what happened. I was hungry and I could have eaten whatever leftover spaghetti stuff I didn't eat, but I didn't. I could have eaten more cottage cheese, but I didn't. I could have eaten the other really ripe banana that I had, but I didn't. I could have continued to make better choices, but I didn't. Instead, I ended up grabbing a couple more digestive cookies and some Biscoff cookies. And I didn't film any of it because it's been something I've been doing lately. Sometimes I'm like, I could have one more. I could have two more. I talked about this on my last refeed and I didn't do it then, but I did it yesterday. So I started eating some of that, right? And before you knew it, or before I knew it, I couldn't help myself. And I was like, okay, well, I ate this. I didn't film this on camera. What else is in this house? And that's the thing, right? I don't live by myself. So I don't have these foods that are currently there are not foods that I typically have in my own home. And I can understand, I can relate when people I coach, they're like, Jerome, I have a family and we have these foods and it's hard because X, Y, and Z is here. I have to prepare this. I have to, right? I get it. I totally get it, right? And there are many instances where I'll have junk food in my own place and I don't go for it. But I don't know what happened yesterday for me. It set me off. I don't know if I was feeling triggered in a way. I don't know if I was just truly hungry and wanted to eat. I guess in a way I didn't feel satiated, right? So, and actually, Lori, that's the great question, right? What else is in the house? Or what else? No, you're asking, right? What else is in the house? I'm guessing that's what you're asking. So here's the thing. I didn't film it. And what I ended up doing is there was about a third bag of Cheetos Puffs. I don't even like Cheetos Puffs. Who eats Cheetos Puffs when you can have the crunchy Cheetos? Are there people in here who actually enjoy Cheetos Puffs? Apparently I do, because I ate the rest of the bag of those Cheetos Puffs. It ended up being like 400 something calories. I had additional Biscoff cookies. I had additional digestive tea biscuits. Miss Peaceful One, Portia, Liver King fan says, me. Okay, so I'm very don't I mean, here's the thing, I ate it anyway, but I would rather have crunchy Cheetos. Anyway, so I ate that. And then I started going through the house looking for other food. Um, there was this candy. I don't know if any of you know. I don't know if any of you watch Ryan Trahan, but he makes his own candy. And I had like a piece of some like sour blueberry, whatever. I don't even like fruity candy, but I ate it because it was there. I just had one big piece, right? So I had that. And then I ended up finding a bag of regular Jimmy John's potato chips, just a single serving. I don't even eat those because I like flavored chips, but I ate it because it was there. And then there were Oreos. They were the thin Oreos, but they were like tiramisu. Again, I just like the regular ones. And I think I ate maybe 5 of those. And then I called it. That was it, right? That was it. That was it. Sleck, get out of here. You're gone. You're out of here. That's blasphemy. How could you say puffs are better? You like what you like. I get it. Liver King fan. Yeah, they were Sour Patch. Right. Exactly. Right. And so that was it. That's what I ate. And I made some big mistakes here, right? One of those big mistakes is I didn't want to film it because I felt shameful about it. I felt guilty about it. And there was a part of me that said, right? There was a part of me in my brain that said, can I manipulate the numbers in a way so that I don't have to talk about this? And then I realized, no, the whole point of what you do, Jerome, is to be accountable every single day. Here's the thing is I did calculate the calories for that. And when I talk about it being bad for me, right? You all know I can take down 10,000 calories, 15,000 calories, way more than that, right? But for me, if you look at not that, this is always so annoying. If you look at the very last bullet there, yesterday's refeed on 9/17, I ended up eating 5,100 calories. That's not the worst in the world, right? It obviously could have been worse. 5,100 calories isn't bad, but here's the thing. When I talk about a bad day, I even wrote it in my own notes on my own spreadsheet. I said it was a rough refeed because the difference between eating 5,100 calories here and the day I ate 9,500 calories before is because where my head was at, where my mental was at on that day was not where it should have been. I literally was like, I don't want to record myself. I don't want to be accountable in this way, right? And it's just that mental slip that can really set things off for me. For me, it was the fact that as I was eating that food, I was like not trying to be mindful at all. I'm like, if I eat all of this, then I eat all of this. Luckily, I didn't. I was eventually, I got to a place where I was listening to my hunger cues and I'm like, I don't need to eat anymore. I'm good. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Right. But the fact that I ate that and I was like, maybe I can manipulate the numbers. Maybe I can just pretend it didn't happen. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the guilt is. And for me, I'm like, that's proper guilt. That's proper guilt for feeling that way. So at the end of the day, the calories, it's not the biggest thing in the world. Eating 5,000 calories yesterday, that's nothing for me, right? Easy for me. But the thought process, where my head was at, thinking, oh, can I just forget this happened? Can I look the other way? Can I not tell my audience and just be like, hey, here's what I ate. Here's the calories it was at. And right, I could have, and no one would have been the wiser, right? No one would have been the wiser, except I'd be lying to myself. No accountability, right? So when I talk about no shame, no guilt, no embarrassment, I mean it. But there was guilt and shame because I literally didn't want to show up for myself. That's the difference. So, oh, goodness. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One says, this live stream is exactly why we love you. Thank you, Miss Peaceful One. Please continue to show up. Hashtag accountability, hashtag transparency, hashtag imperfect consistency, hashtag you are human. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. It really means a lot to me. And honestly, even just seeing your support, seeing people support in chat, it's already motivating me to be like, I did the right thing here. I needed to be honest. I needed to be accountable for this. And this accountability that I'm putting out right now, this transparency that I'm putting out right now is not something that is easy for me to do, right? Like last night, I really thought about, should I do this? Should I just talk about it? Should I even talk about the one thing of sour whatever that I ate? I could just omit it, but I was like, why? Why lie about any of it? Why not just show up for it and be okay with it and be like, yeah, I don't know why I did what I did, but I did it. So Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. It really means a lot to me. And so I just want to spend a second and maybe talk about my mental with that and what that means for me, right? So even though yesterday could have been worse, I could have had 6,000 calories. I could have had 9,000 calories. I could have had 15,000 calories because those kind of numbers, easy for me to do. Easy for me to do. But the one thing that I don't want to do is start to, in my head, be like, maybe I should just do this and not show up. Maybe I should just do this and pretend it didn't happen. Maybe I should just lie and say, yeah, this is what I ate and that's all I ate, but I ate, right? Because that was what was going through my head. I was like, maybe I'll say I ate a second bowl of rice. Maybe I'll say I ate all of the spaghetti, right? And it's like, for what? Why would I lie about that? Why? Why not just show? Because some people might be like, how dare you eat that? Why would you? When I already tell people to fuck off with that, right? You can't tell me what I should eat and shouldn't eat, right? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. That's why I always tell people everyone's journey is your own. Do what you need to do. You're human, just like Miss Peaceful One said. There are days where I'm going to drink. I'm going to eat what I want, and it's okay because it's not every single day, right? Maggie May asks, Jerome, I've done the same thing. How did you pull yourself back from eating? Is that what you meant, Maggie May? Yesterday, at the point of feeling very guilty and very shameful, I told myself, all right, like reality kind of set in for me. And I was like, are you really hungry right now? Like, are you truly hungry right now? Because you can make better decisions than just eating this food. And I think I had my last Oreo and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I put it away and I'll leave it for everyone else to eat. So that's probably the only way I can answer that question, because I know what old Jerome would do. Old Jerome would eat that entire thing easily. Old Jerome would have rummaged through the other bags of chips that were at the house. Old Jerome would have gone through whatever cookies might have been left there. I would have cleaned house. And then you know what would have happened if I ate all of that? I probably wouldn't even be doing this live stream today. I mean, the newer Jerome, the one that says you need to show up no matter what, would probably still have done it, but I would have felt really, really embarrassed because I would have been like, man, I ended up eating whatever amount, right? Because even as I tell you right now, I ate 5,100 calories. The protein on that wasn't even 190 grams. It was at 188. 190 grams of protein is what I typically can do at 3,000 calories. So you can see the other additional 2,000 calories, they weren't even nutrient dense. right? It was just full of garbage, processed foods. Again, nothing wrong with eating that way every once in a while. But yesterday, it's not, like I said, it's not even about that number. 5,100 calories, 2 refeeds ago, I ate 9,500. And I didn't feel that way. Why? Because I planned it. I prepared for it. I was honest about it, right? I didn't lie about it. I went to a Cubs game. I went to an all you can eat place. Yesterday, a little different. Yesterday, I had thoughts of not showing up. I had thoughts of not being honest. And I can't do that. I can't do that anymore. If you're watching this and this is you, if this is the way you think, stop lying to yourself. Show accountability in a different way. I know it's hard. Do you think it's easy for me to just stand here and say this or sit here and say this? It isn't. I want to lead by example, right? I want to be able to share that I'm doing all these good things. And here's the thing, I do. And what I'm doing right now is putting myself in an uncomfortable position because I know sometimes, right, people are waiting for my downfall. People I know, I see it not so much on YouTube, but I'll see it in other places on other platforms where people will comment in some ways. And it's as if they want to see me gain all the weight back. And I won't give people that benefit. I will never give anyone that benefit. My goal is to not just be happy and healthy in the best way that I can for myself, but my goal is to help you find that as well. And that is why I'm sharing the way I'm sharing, right? I want you to continue working on yourself. If you have experienced exactly what I'm talking about right now, hiding, pretending it didn't happen, forgetting about it, lying to yourself, end it, right? Change the way you think about it. Change the way you do things in your life, right? Okay, so we'll quickly do the nerd stats here, right? My average refeed time, about 5.5 hours, didn't change much after my last refeed. My calories went up from 4155 or went up to 4155 from 4117. Average protein, about the same. Where did my weight go after yesterday's refeed? So after 5,000 calories yesterday, and here's the thing, it was only 5,000, but it was a lot of non-nutrient dense foods. And if you look at the last bullet there, I pushed up 7 pounds. Now, did I gain 7 pounds of fat? No, of course not. You didn't either. When you refeed and you step on the scale and you see it push up 2 pounds or 3 pounds, right? You didn't put on 3 pounds of fat unless you were literally eating whatever that ends up being, over 10,000 calories. And if you did, you wouldn't just be pushing 3 pounds up on the scale, right? There's a lot of water weight. There's a lot of waste. There's a lot happening. It's just a number on the scale. Get over it, right? Because if you look at what's highlighted in green, the weight pushes itself down. I might put on 4, 5, 6 more, but at the same time, after a 24 plus hour fast, it'll drop 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds. Let me try to answer this question real quick too. Jan says, we're doing calorie deficit for a couple of years now. May I ask, what do you do when your mind says eat within your fasting days? So I've talked about this before, Jan, and I said this yesterday, right? The way I look at this is on my fasting days, they are my non-negotiable days. They are my get my shit done days, right? So yesterday or today, for example, I'm fasting today, right? And for anyone that's fasting today, let me know, because this is how I look at this as being a helpful way in knowing you're not alone, right? So number one, that's another good way to keep you going, right? Is, hey, today's a fasting day. You're not alone. We're doing it together. But at the same time, I tell myself it's a non-negotiable day. I'm not thinking about food today. I have so much I needed to do today. I had clients that I had to coach. I had other clients I had to do meetings with for my social media work, for my photography work, right? I had this live stream to do. I have videos to edit. Today's a get shit done day. That's how I look at it. I don't think about food at all. There's no part of me that says maybe I should. No, right? That's what I do for me. It doesn't mean that it's going to be successful for you in that way, but that's also where you think about what backup plans look like. Are you doing something to help you prolong your fast? Are you hacking into it, right? Are you doing something like drinking a black coffee or having a 0-calorie drink like a Coke Zero? Some people will modify their fast. I had this conversation yesterday on our autophagy live stream. Sometimes it's helpful for people to just eat under 250 calories, under 500 calories. But Jerome, that's not the way. No, stop, right? It might not be the way for you, but if you're someone that's struggling, maybe that's what it is going to take. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it every single time from here on out. Maybe just that one time will help you. This is what I tell people when it comes to trial and error, right? You have to try things out. You have to see what works, right? And if it doesn't, you move on. If it does work, it's another tool for your tool belt. It's another tool you keep in your back pocket. So hopefully that's helpful, Jan. Appreciate the question. So real quick, I pushed up 7 pounds yesterday, or I pushed up 7 pounds today. I know that tomorrow, most of that is going to drop off. Now, I know all of it won't drop off because I overate yesterday. 5,000 plus calories, one day of fasting isn't going to push that down. I mean, maybe if I decided to go do 40,000 steps today, but I'm not, right? So yeah, a part of me is a little disappointed that the weight isn't going to drop, but I'm okay with that. And right as I share this, whatever that weight looks like tomorrow is whatever it's going to look like. I'm going to continue on. Here's the thing. Yesterday, when I ate 5,000 calories, when I woke up this morning, did I say, well, it's time to throw everything away? It's time to just tell everyone on YouTube I'm going to do day one. I'm going to start over. Ridiculous, right? What did I do when I woke up this morning? I didn't eat breakfast. I woke up this morning. I said, today's a fasting day. You ate a lot yesterday. You overate yesterday. Today's a fasting day. I got up. I went to the bathroom. I stepped on the scale. I went for a walk. I walked to the gym. What did I do when I went to the gym? I lifted heavy. Why did I lift heavy? Because I have a ton of extra calories in me. I said, use those calories to your advantage, right? And so I did. I lifted heavy. What did I do after I lifted? I walked home, showered up, got ready, got to the office, took my meetings, continued to fast. As you and I are sitting here right now, I'm currently 17 and a half hours fasted. I'm not going to eat today. Why? Because I ate a lot yesterday. I don't need to eat today. I don't need to eat every day. I don't need to eat multiple times a day. I'm not saying that you have to do what I do, but I know my body. I know that I ate way too much yesterday, and I know I can take a day off from food. Now, the one thing I'm going to share with you all is, and I usually will just share this the day of, but why I'm a little bummed that I overate yesterday is because I have a 20% day tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going out with friends. I'm not going to cancel my plans with my friends because I overate yesterday. I'm going to enjoy my 20% day and continue moving on with my life. I'm not going to do a 65-hour fast now or a 90-hour fast because I want to continue to do ADF. I want to continue to trust the process. I want to continue to get better at controlling my calories, at eating better, right? So life goes on. I'm going to do all the things to keep myself going. Imperfect consistency. With that being said, it's more than just fasting. My daily step average over the last 57 days is over 16,000. Yesterday's step count over 15,000. Today, I'm somewhere around 10,000, and I'll probably be getting those extra steps in later today after I finish working. I haven't had a lot of time to get those extra steps in, but I will, because I'm not giving up. I'm not throwing away the day. I'm not saying, well, I fucked up yesterday, so I'm just going to do whatever today, right? I just keep moving on. When I talked about having a quote unquote 20% day, that's because I follow something called the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I do what I'm supposed to be doing. 80% of the time I'm eating in my calorie limit. I am being mindful about my choices. I'm getting my steps in. I'm working out. I'm lifting weights. In the last 57 days, I have had 47 80% days. And in the last 57 days, I've had only 10 20% days. And you can see on my 20% days, I eat a lot more. But it's far and few between. Tomorrow will be 11 of 58 because I'll be having a 20% day tomorrow. Now, it doesn't mean that on my 20% days, I'm going to be eating 15, 20,000 calories and just being completely unaware, being completely not mindful. But what I'm saying is I'm more lax, I'm more lenient about it, because I know that those days, they're outnumbered by how many 80% days that I have. Those 80% days, those 47 out of 57 days, most of those days have been fasted days where I've had 0 calories whatsoever. You don't have to follow an 80-20 rule. I just put that out there because it's an effective tool for me. Having a 20% day is mentally relieving in that way. And I just realized the time and I have less than 10 minutes because I have a session in 9 minutes. So really quick, let's do fit check. If you don't know what fit check is, that's where I stand back here and I show you what I look like even after gaining 7 pounds. Whether I'm feeling lean or I'm feeling bloated, I want to be transparent. I want to be honest. I want to be accountable. Now, before I do fit check, like I always do, I have been an overweight kid, adult, and everything in between my entire life. As a child, I was fat, overweight. Growing up as a teenager, morbidly obese. In my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I share those photos and I share that story because it's not like I just recently gained that weight. This is who I have been my entire life. And at 44 years old today, I can say happily that I've been able to lose this weight and keep it off for almost 2 years through a combination of fasting and eating better and taking care of myself. Not on any pills, not on any medication, not having any injections, not having surgery, just good, healthy habits. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things to help yourself. I'm just saying that if you've been in a place where you think you have no other options, I'm telling you, maybe the one thing that you can do for yourself is be accountable, be transparent, and work on your good, healthy habits. So let's do fit check real quick because I have about 7 minutes. So, okay, remember, I'm 7 plus pounds up, or I'm 7 pounds up. This shirt is a boys extra large. These shorts are boys large, I believe. So, I got this scooter. This is my scooter. Anyway, so front shot, right? Again, this is a boys extra large. Side shot, right? Rear, side. And you can see I'm a little bloated here. This is right. This is the extra fat that's here. This is that's the additional fat that I'm continuing to work on. So that's fit check. Usually I would say more, but I know I need to start wrapping things up here. I will do a quick Q&A. If you have questions, ask them now. I will probably rapid fire answer them if you have any. We can wait, or you can wait until tomorrow and I can answer them better for you if you'd like. In the meantime, while you might have any questions, if you are looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can talk a game plan. We can talk a strategy. I can hold you accountable. I know it's hard to show up on the bad days. I know it's hard to show up on your struggling days, but I'm telling you, if you can be accountable and you can show up, you can learn, you can grow from what you're doing. Finallyfasting.com, if you would like to book anything, or if you want to buy some merch and you want to buy a sticker like this one, or a sticker like, oh shit, almost dropped my headphones, or a sticker like this one, you can go there. Also, if you would like to support me in a different way, which Elle so graciously did for other members, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. There is a link in the description of this live stream that you can click on. And if you join, you'll get your name on the intros of these live streams. You get custom emoji. I should add new custom emoji on there. If you join the higher tier, you can be part of the autophagy group where we have Wednesday live streams. We did one yesterday. These Wednesday live streams are group coaching live streams where other people get on camera or ask me questions directly. It's pretty much a coaching session, but within a group. And I do still talk quite a bit, but other people can jump on. So if that's something you're interested in, take a look there. Okay. Any questions? Maggie says, looking good, Jerome. Did you get a haircut? I got one yesterday. And so I actually got it. I got it not while I live streamed, but by the time I live streamed, I had already gotten it. I was just wearing a hat yesterday. So yes, I did get a haircut. Thanks, Miss Peaceful One. Jerome, we can never see the bloat. I know you can tell and feel it, but you still look very lean. I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I definitely can feel it, but thanks for that. I mean, it does feel better knowing that. I mean, you know, the one thing I've realized too is before when I would refeed and I would push up 5, 6, 7 pounds, I couldn't wear small shirts like this. I mean, I couldn't even wear a white shirt like this because usually when you wear white shirts, these are more telling, right? I mean, you can see, right? It's not, you know, angles play a thing here, but you know, I feel really good with where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I appreciate that. So, okay, everyone, I have a coaching session in 2 minutes and I still got to play this outro. So we'll do this again tomorrow. I was like, I haven't seen Aisha, and Aisha usually asks me what time I'm going to be. And Maggie says that live streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a long day for me. I have to figure out actually when I'm going to be live streaming. Give me 1 second. I actually should start blocking off some time for tomorrow. Okay. I'm blocking off time. Tomorrow, we might have an earlier live stream. I will say anywhere between 12 p.m. Central and maybe 1 p.m. Central. Okay. So let's set it up for then between 12 p.m. Central and 1 p.m. Central. And then we'll go from there. So Liver King, Jerome, do you see vascularity in your arms after a refeed? I mean, wondering if it's so like, it's not the same. I mean, it's barely anything. Like My vascularity is actually on my calves. I'm not such a weird shot. Let's not do that. If you saw the back of my calves, that's where my vascularity is. Actually, I had someone at the gym last week. He stopped me to be like, I've never seen calves like. It was very flattering, but that's never happened to me before. But anyway, okay. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do this again. Appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you for your support as always. A special shout out to Miss Peaceful One, Priceman 5, and L. Thank you so much for the additional support. It means a lot to me. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam members. Thank you for supporting me in that way as well. And thank you to all the other people here in chat. Thank you for showing up. Liver King fan, you're absolutely right. But that's all I got for today. So we'll do this again tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Show up for yourself. Be accountable. Hopefully this continues to be inspiring and helpful for you. That's all I got. Here's my wave goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.